A very good morning to one and all. A very warm welcome from Synergy Exposures and Events India Private Limited. I am Brijesh Edwards from Synergy Exposures India Private Limited, welcoming on behalf of Total Hospitality and Synergy Exposures all the stalwarts and the bakery fraternity from the confectionery sweet snack industry. Today we have Chef VishwanathPandey, Principal Consultant of Total Hospitality International, with us to deliver on the future of bakery, Mithai Namkeen industry. On behalf of Synergy Exposures, I thank every individual and associations who have supported us in making this one big family. We are glad to have among us the associations and the individuals who have supported us tremendously in having this webinar organized. We thank Mr. Ariful Islam from the West Bengal Association, Mr. Vijesh Vishwanath, Bakes, Kerala, Mr. Nagaraju, Chairman Hotel Association, Telangana, and we have the Tamil Nadu Bakers Federation, Karikudi Bakers Federation, Mr. Kaliswaran, and other dignitaries will be joining shortly. So I am really glad that we're going to have a fantastic session today. And not not least, we also thank our powered this event, Arun Rega, Falcon Food Equipments, Galaxy Sieve, and Eurotech. And I hand this session over to Mr. Vishwanath Pandey today to take it forward and to have a good insight, and so that we take away something back home for our businesses. Thank you. Over to Mr. Vishwanath Pandey.
First, I would like to welcome all of you and thank all of you for taking the first step that we are looking forward to taste the future of bakery, Mithai and Namkeen. Friends, today we are coming up with this session considering that we have done a lot of research in this line just for the industry to kick back. And believe me, friends, the information that we're going to pass on today is going to be very, very useful. Before we start the session, we would like to thank the organizers, Synergy Exposure, and also we would like to thank the sponsors, Arun Rega, Falcon Food, Galaxy, Swiftech, and Eurotech. I would like to introduce Total Hospitality International. Total Hospitality International is a hotel consulting, kitchen consulting company, and a bakery consulting company. Just a second, there is a technical error. Yes. Here we go. Total Hospitality International is a hotel consulting, kitchen consulting company, and a bakery consulting company. So today we are going to talk about Taste the Future of Bakery, Sweets and Snacks. This is presented by Total Hospitality International. We are into bakery and sweets consulting. We help people set up bakeries and sweet shops, including food courts. We have a team of 5 people who do the designing aspect, and we help you create spaces that are successful. Why us? Because we have a 2-decade experience. We are an ISO certified company, experiencing handling more than 300 projects, and we have presence in India and Middle East. Our expertise is in space planning, main kitchen commissary, receiving areas that you have, admin and back offices, your retail outlets, concept food courts that you need to create. These are the few areas that we really work on. We design the final taste of being technically perfect, because of which the professionalism is sprinkled into all the designs that we come in with. We are an ISO certified company. These are a few articles that had been published and some certifications. Some of the industries that we cater to are hotels and restaurants, convention centers, bakeries, sweet shops, food courts, hospitals, industries like refinery, manufacturing, restaurant, food courts, corporate malls, food factories, airline caterers. Some of the awards that we have got. Our clientele, we have bakeries in our fold, some sweet shops that we have done. We have institutions and hotels that we have catered to, restaurants that we have catered to, and some hotels and fine dining restaurants. Now, coming down to the topic, let's first understand what COVID is. I'm sure most of you know this by now. We're just trying to revise what we know.
More volume, please.
The symptoms of COVID are fever, cough, short of breath, breath difficulties, and fatigue. Now, how long does the corona survive on surfaces? If you see, you have an airborne droplet, then it survives for around about 3 hours. But if it is on a hard, shiny surface, let it be glass, countertop, plastic, or stainless steel, it stays up to 72 hours. Similarly, if it is on a porous surface like a cardboard, paper, or a cloth, it stays for less than 24 hours. This webinar is focusing on the bakery, mithai, and namkeen industry, where we're going to talk about the sanitizing process and the trends that are evolving in the retail industry. So we'd like to thank Synergy, who's organized the event, and this is being conducted by Total Hospitality International, that's located in India and Oman. These are some certifications. It's an ISO certified company, 9001-2015. These are some awards that we have got, and few of our clients that we have catered to in this segment. Friends, now coming down to COVID-19 and understanding what are the basic symptoms and how it stays on surfaces. The basic symptoms that you can see are fever, cough, short of breath, breathing difficulties, and fatigue. I'm sure you must be aware of this symptoms. And how long does it stay on surfaces? So if there is somebody who's coughed it, airborne, it will be there for around about 3 hours. In case you take surfaces like glass, countertops, plastic, and stainless steel that are basically hard and shining, then it is up to 72 hours. In case you look at cardboard, paper, or fabric, then it stays up to 24 hours. All right. If you have this, if you are in India and you're here using the webinar, then this is the app that you should have with you. It's called Arogya Setu. And in case you're from some other part of the world, then you have similar apps that are there in various countries that you can use. Coming down to retail segment. Today, the retail segment is working on this strategy called Shop Smart, Shop Safe. What do you know? What do you understand by Shop Smart, Shop Safe is that today's shopping is going to get digital. Today's shopping is going to get contactless. Today's shopping is going to be more of social distancing that we are going to follow. So what are the steps that you need to take to be shop smart so that people can shop safe? First things that you need to ensure are these 4 things. 4 things that you need to ensure are, you need to ensure that your staff and vendors are COVID free. Can I request all of you to mute your microphones, please? All right. So you need to ensure that your customers, staff, and vendors are on your staff and vendors and ensure that they are COVID free. And when it comes as a turn of the customer, we will have to ensure that we check the temperature of the customer who's walking in. We'll also have to follow stringent sanitizing process. See, friends, today the new norm is about using new stringent processes that we need to use so that we are up to this new normal. Social distancing is something that we really need to maintain. And yes, redefined customer service is something that we need to work upon and create SOPs for. So how does the sanitizing process happen for a retail store? First things first, any staff, any person who's entering the retail outlet needs to wash his hands and his temperature needs to be checked. This temperature that you're checking on daily basis is suggested to be done at least twice in a day. Now, when you also take the temperature of every staff, it is always better to record that temperature. Friends, you might be a single outlet or you might be multiple outlets. Recording the temperature also means a lot of things. You can look at the pattern of his health and also understand in case he's getting any symptoms towards COVID. Before, in case you have not started your outlet as yet after COVID and you're planning to start your outlet, then you need to get forms, disclaimer forms signed by each staff, wherein they give you their health conditions for the last 20 days, and also you attach the health report from the doctor that you have of your company who does the testing. Now, 4 steps that you need to follow. One is hand wash of every staff in the retail outlet, whichever department. He has to have his hand wash done for 20 seconds at least. So you can always have a beep in the cycle of 15 minutes. You can have staffs going in rounds and washing their hands for sure. This again has to be noted. Then sanitizing your outlet for every 4 hours. You'll have to plan, friends, you'll have to plan this for every 4 hours of your outlet timings. In case you open, say at 11, then you do it at say 11:30 to start off, and then you do it at 4, then you do it at 7, and then you do it after you close. So this 4 hours gap will help you sanitize the whole space. There are a lot of outlets that would have a small dining, casual dining attached to it. So you will have to even sanitize those tables and chairs. In case you have a small kitchen attached, then you need to sanitize the workstations and the kitchen that you have attached to the retail outlet. For the sanitizing, you can use the aerosol treatment process. Here I've shown you 2 pictures. One is of cleaning the oven, in case you have an oven that is there in the retail outlet, or cleaning of refrigerators or cold rooms. Also, you have these portable UV sterilizers that you can use. Friends, what is this portable UV sterilizer? It's a very simple equipment that has to be charged, and once this is swiped over any surface, it's very good even if you have upholstery in your space. In case you have curtains, you have tablecloths that you're using by any means, those can also be sanitized using this. Now coming down to a dry fogging machine, I've just got a sample of a video for you to understand how you can use this. Please go through the video.
A few moments later. We have fallen down again tonight. In this world, it's hard to get it right.
This can be used on humans also, and any kind of goods that you have can also be sanitized using this. This is called the dry fogging application. There are people who are using vaporized hydrogen peroxide also to do this, but yes, you'll have to keep the quantity of this VHP intact, because if you use more of it, then it gets allergic to people. Other than this, friends, today you have to use a UV sterilizing cabinet. Now, this UV sterilizing cabinet is a new form of sterilizing a lot of stuff. You have this in various sizes. This can be in a cupboard size, can be in the microwave oven size. We are showing you the microwave oven size. You can always have all your paper bags, your boxes that can be sterilized, just keeping them in this box. So this comes again with various wattages and temperature, so according to which you will have the timing of keeping the cardboard or paper into this would help you sterilize the particular product. You can also sterilize a lot of other things that are very handy. To stop coronavirus, also you'll have to have some new uniform additions. Basically, the new normal in your uniform would be, it has to be gloves and mask for sure, with a hairnet. In case you're not using a cap, then you need to have a hairnet. because these three things have become mandatory. This has been suggested by FSSAI also, that this becomes a part of your uniform that you're going to use in the new normal in any retail outlet. In case you have door delivery, again the same 4R concept. Friends, washing of hands of every staff member is every 1 hour, and washing of the sanitizing the kitchen and the retail outlet, and sanitization of your door delivery vehicle and bag in case you use a bag has to be done at every 4 hours interval. The best part would be that you have 4 hour alarm that you place. Even the guests would be very happy to see that you're sanitizing your space. They would readily wait for 10 to 15 minutes, and yes, they would be more faithful to you, considering that you're sanitizing the space and giving them the best part of food that you're serving. For people who are doing the door delivery, they need to sanitize their hands as soon as they return. That is again very important. In case you have common areas like the toilets, waiting rooms, so those areas need to be cleaned after every use. So in case the toilets are being used, after every use, you need to clean the toilets also. Friends, now after sanitizing the whole retail outlet, let's come to the business aspect. For any retail outlet, let it be a bakery, a sweet shop, or a snack place, you have to remember this tagline that you'll have to survive first, revive next. So survival is important, and then comes revival. So at this stage, you would ask how to survive. Friends, to survive, you need to act on your best practices. And friends, just knowing what you need to do is not important today. Today, people who act immediately are the winners. People who know it but don't act cannot stay in the race. So today, what you need to do is you first need to reinforce your brand trust. I'm sure, friends, a lot of you have outlets here, and you have outlets for a few years. Some might be a startup, but yes, you need to create your brand, and then you need to show the trust in people. Later, you need to also adapt to your customer experience and menu. So your menu changes that you need to do, keeping the conditions today is very important. Today, a lot of these packaged foods are selling. So if you have packaged namkeens, you have ready-made packed rusks, cookies, breads, these sell very well. Ready-made packed sweets sell very well. You need to engage with families. For you to have repeat business, you need to engage with families. I will explain all of these. You just note down these right now. I will explain to you each and every heading with some explanation. Be relevant and part of the solution. Considering that we are in a crisis today, people are just coming out of the crisis, the sentiment is on. They should also feel that, yes, you are a part of the crisis. And most importantly, manage your cash. Managing cash strategically is very, very important. So reinforcing your brand trust, how can you do it? Friends, if you have a beautiful kitchen, you can always run the video of your kitchen in your store. That gives a feel of faith that people will have. If you have local channels that are there in smaller districts, you can run them in the local channels also. Now, once we have learned the sanitizing SOPs, we create the sanitizing SOPs, we are using masks and gloves. Speak about them. Speak about them to people. Until and unless you don't speak about it, people will not understand that you have taken these meaningful actions. So you need to speak about all what you do. Second is create contactless experience. See, contactless experience can be in digitalizing your dining, so you have and digitalizing your takeaway also, so that you have contactless dining and contactless takeaway. Friends, other than contactless dining and contactless takeaway, you have uh, you have drive-ins that are going to be very catchy and famous, and also you have the curbside pickup that would take shape. Now, what is if you have an option of having a drive-in system, then you should create the drive-in system, because people will not want to get down from their car to pick up the package. Or the curbside is the roadside where they come to your outlet and you deliver this into their car directly. You need to leverage your brand reputation. So now, how do you leverage your brand reputation? Is you need to know your basic mission of your company, vision of your company, and the purpose of your company being there. So that has to be told to people. Adapt to your customers' experience and menu. See, today you will not want to serve all the menu that you were serving till date. What you will have to do is you will have to curate your menu. You have to do menu engineering. We will speak about menu engineering after a while. You can understand what menu engineering means. But yes, please understand that 20 to 30% of your menu gives 80 to 90% of your sale. So you will have to curate your menu considering you will need to identify the products that give you sale and also give you good margin. Also, you'll also have to understand what the customers want. There are people who are also meeting to the needs of the customer. Like we had the Park Hotel in Hyderabad that was also giving medicines with food. So at this time, sometimes people want some medicines with food. I saw a video recently of Bikaner Wala, which was also selling few of the essential groceries like ghee and things that are related to sweets from their outlet. There is also the milkshake factory that is selling DIY kits, do-it-yourself kits. So these kits are ready-made sachets of mocktails that people can make at home by themselves. So you can do things like this, which is out of the box. You'll need to think and understand what people need and give them what they need. Emphasize on the trusted menu. So there are mother items and star selling items. Friends, don't get deviated. Sell what you know sells well. Don't do launching of new limited time offers. Say you do a new stuff that is going to be limited. Yes. But in case you want to create new products that are immune boosters, food that increases the immunity. You can create such products. Those products can be a part of the menu. Engage with families. Today, engaging with families is very, very important. You need to cater to families. To cater to families, you will have to develop and promote and create family packs. So when you do a family package, you create a family package with sharp pricing so that it lures the customer to take food from you. Similarly, you also have to build goodwill with the kids, like McDonald's does with a Happy Meal. You will have to create packages where kids would wish to order from you. Also plan for the occasions that come by, close by now, because it will at least take 2 to 3 months for the companies to come back. So think of Easter, Raksha Bandhan, such occasions that are coming by, and create offers that you have so that people can buy ready-made packaged stuff from you. Friends, packaged stuff is what is going to move on right now. So you will need to concentrate on stuff that can be directly given. Be relevant and part of the solution. You should not be too aggressive and look like you're only trying to sell, but rather you should be available and present and show that you're doing something back for the society also. But yes, in the meantime, never be silent. Don't get silent at all. You should always emphasize on the issues that are there now: safety, values, family. These are things that you should be always there on in social media. And also highlight the contact free services that you're giving. It can be the digital systems that you have started, the contactless dining, contactless takeaway, your drive through. All that has to be highlighted so that people get to know. And yes, whatever you can do, you must be doing it for your staff right now. But yes, the next level of doing it for the community, more than what you're doing for your staff alone. The next level, doing it for your community, can be in any fashion. If you think you're not making great margins, if you have some leftover food, you can tie up with an organization and give them that food. So instead of throwing away that food goes to a organization that can use this kind of food. So any CSR activity that you can do. Yes, this is the most important thing, friends. During survival, you need to have your cash intact. So broadly plan it considering the scenario now. Increase your cash balance. Don't try and have credit sales. Have as much as possible cash sales. Also in this, friends, you need to add one more point, is that try and have a lot of digital payment modules. Increase the digital payment modules, patterns that you can have, and partner with key suppliers You might be having suppliers that who have been supplying for long, and you might have suppliers who have been with you if you've just started. But then partner with them and ensure that you have a continued business guarantee that you can give them, and also credit time for payments that you can create. Maximize profit. Now we'll come down to how you can maximize your profitability using menu engineering. Friends, menu engineering is a scientific way of making more money from the menu that you have. How can you do that? Friends, in case you have a bakery outlet or a sweet shop, you're from the retail industry, type retail in the chat box. Great. So now let's look at how you can maximize profitability using menu engineering. We just made a cartoon of menu engineering, but yes, you can make higher profits using menu engineering is because of the menu matrix. Now, this is how the menu matrix works. This is defined on the popularity and profitability aspect. So in your menu, you will have 4 parts of the menu. There will be products that are not very profitable and not very popular. Those are the items that we call it as dog. The items that are very popular and not as profitable are called flow horses. There are items that are profitable but less popular. They are called puzzle. And then you have star items that are profitable and popular. So the star items are the items that you will always want to have. Puzzle are items that you have more profitability, which you will want more numbers to sell. Flow horses are the items that sell well but give you less profit. So now you will have to think on these 3 areas and then design your menu so that these 3 areas are the ones that can create good revenue. Friends, in menu engineering, not only when you create your menu typically to what gives you better profit, that is the contribution margin, and also what sells well. What happens is you reduce your menu size 1, you decrease your wastage 2, and this will help you in having more efficient profitability that you can gain. In case you have a bit of dining in your space, if you have a food court kind of setup, if you have few dining tables in your bakery, then how do you do contactless dining? There are 2-3 options that have come up. We have the vendors like Swiggy and Dine In. All of them have come up with this process where you can scan a QR code. So there's a QR code that is put at the entrance of the outlet. You can scan the QR code and you get the menu on your phone. Now, once you have the menu on your phone, you don't need a menu card at all. You can order from the phone. So the watching of the menu and ordering can happen directly digitally. And finally, the payment also happens digitally. So today, contactless dining is the new normal that's going to be there for tomorrow. Also, what and all do you have to do in case you want to do a casual dining that has to be contactless is human distancing. Now, for human distancing, what you need to do is you need to have the tables that are spread at least 6 feet in distance. So what people are doing is either they spread the table or they use alternate tables right now. So you have seating done on alternate tables. You're able to sanitize those tables that were used and offer the tables that were not used. Handling of food, majorly handling of food is self-service here, so it's not very difficult here. Buffets, in case you have a small banqueting where you do small birthday parties and so on, we would say no buffets. It is always better to have pre-packed in a box or pre-plated food that can be served. Takeaways and food deliveries, we will talk in the next part. Making of payments, friends, I would suggest you should have as many payment gateways that you think work well in your area and ensure that, yes, you can do payments through that. Banqueting for smaller banquets in the spaces that you have is something that you can look at. Takeaway, digital takeaway. Now, digital takeaway is something where you need to have all your takeaway. There's a big no-no to plastics. Friends, there are a lot of plastics that are being used. So big no to plastics. And also, you will have to use things like paper and cloth bags. And yes, you need to have digital ordering and digital payment that is going to be happening. This is a new tag that is going to come on all the takeaways that is going to be there. Friends, this is a process that's a new normal again, where with every takeaway that you are going to offer, I would request all of you to make a note of this. You will have to give the chef's temperature in case it's a product that was baked a day before or a sweet that was made the particular morning. You will have to give that temperature of the chef who's prepared the food, and then the temperature of the person who's packing the food will be jotted down, and then the delivery boy's temperature also would be written down. In case it's a third-party delivery that you're going to use, the third-party delivery temperature also would be mentioned on this. This not only helps us being transparent, but also increases the confidence level between the outlet and our guests and customer. So once our customer gets to know more about our hygiene practices and also the temperatures of the people who are handling our food, the confidence level goes up. This is a new vertical that a lot of you will have to start, or in case you have already started, you will have to push this vertical, because this is the new future of today's business. People sitting at home would want to have food at their convenience. So they will be using online business. Now, to get on to online business, you will have to have the menu that you decided that are the best sellers that you have. And I will also tell you how you should choose your menu for the online that you need to start selling on. First, let's understand, even if you've been an entrepreneur for decades, the online business in 2020 is going to be a little difficult. Let's understand the facts first. Competition is going to be fierce. It is already fierce. The product market is saturated. You have a lot of players who have come in, but consumers' demand and convenience is more than even before. So this is one positive that we have. Whatever you do on your online business will reflect on whatever you have right now. In case you have a brand name, you will have to ensure that all your packing and things like that are according to your brand name. And also it helps the vertical, because these are very related. Although there are two types of businesses, your websites need to be ready according to whatever you're doing in terms of branding while you're doing the packaging. Your marketing strategies have to have both in-store and online that you will have to see. Loyalty programs have to be run parallelly on both the platforms. And yes, the shipping and fulfillment has to be done keeping the target audience that you are trying to reach. So now, what are the products that you can actually sell? Friends, there are two basic products. Let it be any industry. Let it be the bakery, sweets or snacks. One is commoditized products that are essential, highly in demand, popular goods. They are your star items that generally you sell, or the items that really move just by themselves. They are the commoditized products. Niche products are the products that people come to you for. In case that's a specific service that you give, that's a specific product that you're popular for, that is your niche product. So you need to understand these two product lines and package it accordingly, and then put it into the market. So how do you start selling online? Now that you have done your market research, now that you have finalized the products that you want to sell, now that you know the customer and audience that you want to do, you will have to start looking at e-commerce platforms. E-commerce platforms like Amazon, Flipkart, Big Basket, you can use Zomato, Swiggy, things like that. So you'll have to look at these platforms. You can also do a survey in these platforms of what is being sold from your competitors. Next, what you need to do is create high quality product content. This can include description of the items with beautiful photography. So you need to get this ready before you really want to get in online. And then you need to create a strategy of how you're going to pull your potential customers, create the traffic onto your particular ordering platform. Now that we've learned the process of how we sanitize the front end, how we also what do we do to survive in our business, and then how do we make better money out of what we have, and how do we create an online business platform. Now comes the stage where we get into the sanitizing of our central kitchens, the main bakery factories or the karkhanas for sweet, and then what do we do there to sanitize it well. Friends, before we get into the production area, we will get into the receiving area. In the receiving area, first things first that we need to do is we need to speak to all our vendors. Considering their product line, you need to call them, speak to them of how you need the packaging to be, the delivery options that you need, the packaging quantity and size. That has to be fixed with the vendors. You'll also have to give them the disclaimer form where they'll also have a medical check and a medical check done for the people who are going to come and deliver the food to you. Secondly, your receiving person, whoever is going to be receiving, has to have a protective gear that you create for him. So whoever comes in contact with the receiving person comes in contact with the vendor, has to have the protective gear used for sure. And then you will use a UV treatment zone to get most of your items in. And in case you have some vegetables and all that, you can use a vegetable washer. You will also have to use only sanitizing agents that WHO and health department approves of. Now again, you will make a new tag, like you make a tag when you do delivery system, you will make a tag. This is called the quarantine date tag. So this quarantine date tag has to be put on those items that have come in on that particular day and has to be placed in a sanitized area in the store to be quarantined. So once you quarantine that in the quarantined area in the store, then you're ready to use it in the kitchen. One thing that you need to remember is that the sanitizing area needs to be sanitized very regularly, because you'll have a lot of movement that comes in a specific time. And also, usage of masks and social distancing is a must by any person who is in and around. But person who is going to receive has to have all the protective gear that he needs to wear. Friends, you might have to redesign your kitchens, keeping in mind social distancing. There are two things that you need to do in your kitchens to maintain social distancing. You will have to have, one, a redesign of the kitchen. Two, you will also have to have shift systems so that you're able to create food in batches and give as much fresh food as possible. But yes, in case you're a central kitchen where you dispatch food to various outlets, then you need to plan your kitchen in that fashion and your shifts in that fashion. So what happens in the kitchen prep areas that you do? You do sanitization of the kitchen at regular intervals. You also sanitize the items that come into the kitchen. Sanitizing here means in case something comes in a paper bag, you just have to throw that, remove the ingredient and put it in the bowl. It can be a planetary mixer or wherever, and then throw this paper bag into the dustbin and wash your hands again. Rearranging the kitchen is very important. Your reduction of menu will again call for probably reduction of some staff, and you will have to increase your housekeeping staff. So you'll have to ramp up that staff, and again, you will have to do your batch cooking in that fashion. Regular cleaning of hands using of gloves and mask is mandatory. That will be a part of the kitchen of your kitchen uniform that you will have. And sanitizing of smaller equipment at regular intervals is a must. See, now when you use palette, knives and things like that, gloves have to be changed now and then. If you're going out to a washroom, you need to throw your gloves. You need to wear fresh gloves once you come back. So you cannot be using the same gloves as you go out and come in. There is also automation at this time that many are looking at, so that the human contact is reduced. We're just playing a video for you to understand how you can automate your kitchens and also ensure that your human contact is reduced. Friends, this is a time that people are investing to upgrade their back-end kitchens so that it is more towards the HACCP standards, and also it gets a little automized. In this process, what happens is people start showing this to people and gaining their confidence and increasing their sale in turn. Here we go. Friends, you have a lot of this equipment that has come into the market, which you could use for your kitchens, let it be for sweets, bakeries, snacks, and I'm sure you must be using few of them, and there are a lot of them that have been invented and are coming through. There are people who are making processes that can be used in case they're looking at factories that can process bakery products and things like that on a very regular interval. So you have a line of machine that you could use. This is a table given by FSSAI. This table talks about how chlorine water is very useful. It can be used to wash perishable items, and also it can clean surfaces. So QMBA and chlorine water can be used for cleaning surfaces after use, and you can use 70% alcohol-based sanitizers to clean touch points and other contact surfaces. How do you clean your kitchen? Friends, you should remember one thing, that you cannot sanitize any surface area or any other place where you have solid dirt. In case you have solid dirt, then you need to remove this dirt first. Once the dirt is removed, then starts the cleaning process. After the cleaning process is done, cleaning process has to be done with 60 degrees of water. And then once you clean it with your detergent, the kind of detergent you use, rinse it with water, then comes the sanitizing process. Sanitizing process for the kitchen can happen with a simple way of using hot water at 75 degrees and leaving it for 2 minutes and letting it air dry. It's as simple as that. This is again specified by FSSAI also. If you can use water jets, they're very good, so that in case you have any porous flooring and things like that, it will get totally cleaned. Friends, now that we have run through what the sanitizing process could be, what the business, how you can survive in the business and then revive later, we'll also need to do two things. So one is the employee training and employment. What do you mean by employment in employee training? Employment means any big organization needs a sanitizing officer or a coordinator today. So you need to employ a sanitizing officer or a coordinator. Friends, in case you feel that you have some staff with you, you can even train them to be a sanitizing officer or a coordinator. What does the sanitizing officer do? Sanitizing officer complies with the regularities that are there by the health department. He audits the process that you have to do in sanitizing the space. He also deals with the health department. So what he does is he is the bridge between the organization and the local health department. Now, you also need to train the employees. What can you do for training? Learning and development is very important. You need to teach them personal sanitizing first, then you need to educate them on COVID-19, because if they know what COVID-19 is, they would come up to you in case they feel they're getting affected by it, and you'll get to know in advance. And yes, you will also have to train them in their particular department on the SOPs that they need to follow. There are some things that the owners, if you're owners of any of your bakeries and outlets, or your managers or chefs of the outlets, I would request you to type yes in the chat box. Great. Fine. So there are a few things that you need to know. One is, please update your list of COVID-19 hospitals that are nearby you who can do testing and treatment. That is something that you need to have handy. First things first. Second, you need to have professional disinfectant companies that can come and disinfect your place. So you need to have these contacts with you too. Third, you need to have vendors' numbers who supply disinfectants and sanitizers, because today the demand of these items are high and you never know when you will fall short of the quantity that you need. Also, you need to have adequate storage of disinfectants and sanitizers, including you will also have to have your masks and hand gloves that you will need to keep in stock. you need to create isolation rooms. Probably you will not have an isolation room today, but you will have to create an isolation room for any suspect that you get in your workspace for them to be isolated with a separate toilet and wash. And you will need one more room for people who are there who probably have come in contact with the person who's a suspect. So you'll need 2 rooms with separate toilet and wash that you need to have. Record keeping of the sanitizing process that you're doing on daily basis has to be done. In case you have a supervisor for it, then he would maintain the records for you. And in case there is somebody who comes as a suspect, then you need to have his history taken down and given to the authorities close by. Finally, friends, in today's normal usage, face mask and hand gloves is going to be a part of the uniform, and also personal hygiene and social distancing is the key to stay away from COVID. I would like to thank one and all for patiently listening to the whole session. We are sorry for the digital disturbance that we had during the webinar, and I think we would go into the question answer round hereafter. Can we have Edward online, please?
Yes, good evening all. So thank you, sir, for the insightful session. And we have a Q&A session now. And there is one question which is already being posted on the chat box. People who wish to ask questions can raise their hands and then start asking questions one by one. I allow the first question by Hammer. Can fogging machines be done on retail packs? Is the question.
Yeah, they can be done on retail packs. Nowadays, you have chemicals and solutions that even fall on food, don't affect the food. So there are products like that that have come. So it will not be an issue to use them.
Okay. And I would request people to post their questions or raise their hands to ask questions.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, Mr. Edwards. I just wanted to check if the fogging machine can be used in the production area and what is the frequency of use. And of course, thank you very much to the organizers. This was very, very informative. Definitely helped a lot of us plan the moves ahead. Chef, you're not audible because your microphone is off. Yes.
I'm not able to, yes.
Yes.
Okay, sorry. Yes. So now, see, like in the store, we suggest 4 hours of cleaning in the retail outlet. In the kitchen, we suggest batch cleaning, in the sense you do a cooking batch that you do, and then you do the cleaning.
Okay.
You can always use a fogging thing in the kitchen also, but there are specific chemicals that you need to use. You cannot use all the chemicals that are there. And these basically work like an aerosol thing where you have these very small droplets that come, they fall down, they once they touch the surface, they start sanitizing the surface. So that can be used in and around. You also have infrared. So if you do a general cleaning with water and detergent, and later you, once the cleaning is done, let it air dry, then you use the infrared ones, you're more than good. So infrared is also very nice, very easy to use.
And these fogging machines are easily available in the market now?
Yes, they are very much available in the market and not very costly too.
Okay, okay.
Great.
Thank you, that helps. Yeah. Any recommended machines? Like if you...
the machines are coming in the range of 7,000, 8,000 that you can see right now. But I'm sure in a week or two, you will have machines that come for 4,000, 5,000 also.
Right,
Because these are the first batch that have come. They'll be little costlier.
Right, of
And
course.
I'm sure you'll find a local vendor close by. In
Correct.
case you need something, you can always contact Brijesh and we can recommend one or two suppliers.
We'll do that. We have saved your connects, and the chemicals will be suggested by the machine companies itself, most probably, right?
The chemicals will be suggested by the machine companies, or we can put you on to local vendors who are there according to your area, who
Right.
would be able to do sanitizing. Today, sanitizing is again a process. So you have pest control specialists, now you have sanitizing specialists that are coming up. So these
Correct.
sanitizing specialists would give you solutions depending on the kind of machinery and things that you're using and space
Right.
that you have. So it depends again on the volume of space that you have that
Correct.
they will suggest a sanitizing process.
And like you rightly said, the content of the chemicals, the quantity is very, very important. We
Very
cannot
important.
just randomly use because it could be allergic to a lot of
Yes,
people.
very true.
Thank you. Thank you very much, sir. Very informative
Thank you.
session.
Thank
We
you.
have
Thank you
another
so much.
question, sir. Does UV rays kills the virus?
Yes, it does. UVC is the UV that kills virus. Not all UV kills virus. You have a specific type of UV. There are 3 types of UV in which this UVC is the UV that will kill the virus. So this has to be used. This kills 99.99% of all the viruses and bacteria that are there. So if you start a system today, this system that is going to be there today will last for long, because any other epidemic that comes or pandemic that comes in the near future, you will be able to tackle that.
Okay. And there's another question from Mr. Akhilesh. I'll be renovating my bakery. So is there any suggestions or tips?
Yes, now that you're renovating your bakery, we would suggest that you use the modern trend of design. And the modern trend of design is something that is going to be the next new normal. So whatever was there before will have to change now. Whatever change is going to happen today is going to last for long. So that's going to be the new normal, is what people say. So you will have to design the space according to what has come in today. And if you do that now, it will be a one-time work that you need to do, and it will get you results.
We have Isha Jain. She says, I have 2 kitchens, one in Hyderabad and the other one in Bangalore. Could I get information about vendors of sanitation in both the cities?
Sure, we can suggest few vendors, but we would always suggest that you use your mind to see if you want to parallelly look at other vendors also and decide on whom you want to go with. But we can surely suggest you vendors. If you can just put your name and number on the chat box, we can send you references.
I call upon Mr. Lawrence to say a few words on this. Sounds unmuted, please.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
It's a very, very interesting session, Mr. Pandey.
Good afternoon. Thank you, sir.
See, the human, if you look at the human mind, when you challenge it, it keeps on developing new solutions. So we cannot rest or say that we are defeated, and we have to carry forward with the new ideas and new strategies to move forward. So this is a good suggestions what you have given. And over the past 30 days, what I found, the way the business is moving is becoming more localized. So the large scale manufacturing, distribution and everything has taken a back seat. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes,
I'm
sir.
waiting for you to finish. Yes, sir. Please go ahead.
So in our case, is in scenario in where our factory is situated, every manufacturing activity has become a kind of an island. And the products and services of especially bakery products being an essential commodity, it is much needed by the people in and around your factory. So you find new markets, new avenues, a new way of delivering things besides coming to your store. because of the new social distancing, you can adapt a strategy of distributing your goods to various kirana stores, pharmacies, hospitals, and neighborhood shops. Will bring in better business rather than you expect the customer to come to your doorstep. This is what is happening as far as business is concerned. And regarding manpower, now we are in a kind of a stage of suspicion. We are comfortable with even 10 workers who are coming from 4 or 5 roads in and around your factory. You are comfortable with, because you find for the past 30 days they are healthy, and you don't want anyone else to come into your domain. These are the things what we are observing now.
Very true, sir. Very true. Whatever you have suggested is very
So
practical.
in future, what is going to happen, the small bake-offs will have a better future in the, it's going to be the new future. Small manufacturing, freshly made products, daily made products will have definitely will have an edge over the bigger distribution type of business in the coming future. This is going to be the new normal.
Great, sir. Great.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Can we have Mr. Vijesh Vishwanath from Kerala, best place to say a few words, please? Mr. Vijesh?
Yeah, good morning. Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
That was a very good session. Need of the hour. Many of the points noted. I hope everybody make use of this and get better business and do the same. I wish you all success for this program, and let Synergy and the chef continue doing such things. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, sir. Can we have Mr.
Thank
GK?
you.
Yeah, can we have Mr. GK, Chef GK, please, to say a few words?
Hi, you are able to hear me?
Yes, yes, sir. Please go ahead.
Yeah, it was a wonderful session. Thanks, Edward. Sanitization is one thing that we were all worried of. Now you have given a big list, and we had to follow all that and get the people to know about it. That was a wonderful idea that what you gave. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Thanks a lot, chef.
Yeah.
Can we have Mr. Swati from Hong Kong, who's connected with us, to say something, please?
Hi, Edwards, how are you? And Chef Pandey and Lawrence and Geeta Krishnan. Few of them I know very much here. And yes, it's a very, very comprehensive presentation. We are used to that in Hong Kong. And in fact, we have been implementing some of these already in Hong Kong. That's very vigorously by the government, monitored by the Food and Environmental Hygiene Department, as well as by the individual, those who are interested in the business. And it all boils down to the individual now. You know, the government can't do much. It's all boiled down to the individual establishment, how they will do something to win the trust of the people.
True.
And this is going to be the scenario, as I think. And people who are in the industry, like the veterans like Lawrence and Geeta Krishnan, Edwards, and you all, should motivate the individual to put a lot of effort to bring that hygiene and the trust factor. This is the basic. And we have been successfully done in Hong Kong, and we have seen the patronage of the people coming back successfully. In fact, the last couple of weeks, the business has been close to back to normal in place like Hong Kong. That's why I'm surprised to see that. In fact, our supply chain has done quite well, and our orders have been back to where it was before. And of course, there are a lot of attrition in, like Mr. Pandey said, you know, you may have to cut some labors on some workforce on certain thing, and you have to increase on the housekeeping. And as I was a former group director for the 5-star hotels, I know the housekeeping is going to be a very big role, and you all done very well. I thank you so much, and I stand by for any help you all need, and I'll be very proud to be a part of your team. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, sir. And we have another question here saying that the disinfectant tunnels, are they recommended now? There are few governments which have banned this. What is your take on this?
The disinfectant tunnels are just the disinfecting the outer part of any human being. In case somebody has COVID inside, then it really doesn't help in that manner. Secondly, also it doesn't spray on to the whole body. So partially yes, but not very effective as far as it goes by. So what other states have done is, considering that it's not working in favor of a practice, it is not considered to be fruitful. So we'll suggest no.
Fine. Thank you, sir. Is there anybody else who would like to say something? If yes, please type on the mail chat box so that we can unmute you.
Can I share?
Yeah.
Can I share, Brajesh?
Yes, please. Go ahead, sir.
Yes. Very good morning and good noon, Mr. The Synergy team. Thanks for Brajesh Edwards organizing this wonderful need of the hour kind of session. I really thank this chef Vishwanathan, who has covered the complete end-to-end kind of a state right now. And what made me happy was when Swati was sharing the current scenario. In Hong Kong, it has been turned around to the normal. So that is something which we are looking at. We are expecting, even in India right now. And yes, we are from a technology company where we do IT retail solutions for F&B exclusives. We have an online store. I'm so excited when Chef Vishwanath was sharing about contactless payments. So when I heard it, we thought, okay, we are in the right track to handle this new normal right now. And the one thing which I was so excited was the temperature, the chef temperature, the delivery boy's temperature. What happened in China? That is a new insight for us. I think we are. I'm being unmuted. Yeah. So I think we as a technology people, I think this would really add value to our business. People like us who are in technology supporting the F&B exclusively. Thank you so much, Brajesh. Thank you so much, Mr. Chef Vishwanathan. So pleasure to meet you, to hear from you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your insight. Any air handling units for these type of situations during COVID?
But for which area is this? Which area is he looking at the air handling? You take number, revert back to him.
கொரோனா இருக்கு, யாரும் லெட்டர் தான் இனிமேல் எல்லாமே இதை பண்ணதுக்கு எல்லாருக்கும் பிரச்சனை வந்து இதுலதான் கூகுள் கிளாஸ்.
Thank you all. I think it was a wonderful session by Chef VishwanathPandey. And if you have anything to, any further questions, you can write to CEO@theconsult.com, or you could get in touch with Chef Vishwanathan, or you could Raji, so that we connect you on to Chef and then take down your questions and then answer back. Thank you all once again for joining us.
Thank you once again.